Once you've finished answering the 4 storyline questions, it's time to create the first visual representation of your story. The most effective way that I've found to do this is with a thumbnail storyboard. The thumbnail storyboard is the first sight of what your cartoon is going to look like, and will be to your cartoon what a script is to a play. A thumbnail storyboard looks a lot like a comic strip, with individual drawings depicting the storyline, scenes, characters, and their emotions, along with other important parts of the animation. These drawings should be small and depict only rough ideas of what characters will look like, what the backgrounds and scenery will be, and some idea of dialogue and emotions. And although your thumbnail storyboard is just a primitive version of your final animation, it is still very important, because it will form the basis of the rest of the work you will do for your cartoon. Although the final animation is going to be in Flash, I personally prefer to create my thumbnail storyboards using a good old-fashioned paper and pencil. It makes it quick and simple to look at the order of things and make any changes that need done. I typically start out by dividing the paper into a bunch of small rectangles, like this. Each square is going to represent a different scene, so it's important to label each one. I personally use numbers, but you can use whatever you like. Then, after your page is divided into scenes and labeled, you simply start drawing. Start in the box labeled 1 and draw a picture that depicts what is happening in the first scene. Then move on to the second scene, and so on, until you've drawn every scene in its own section and have told your entire story. But don't forget, the thumbnail storyboard is designed to help you quickly and effectively display your story in a chronological order. These thumbnails are not meant to be detailed. You should draw them as quickly as possible, only spending as much time as you need to get the point across. The thumbnail storyboard will for the first time allow you to see a visual representation of your story, and more often than not it won't work quite as smoothly the first time around as you had imagined it would. Which is fine, because that's what the thumbnail storyboard is all about, making your story flow in a way that will make sense to your audience.